It's always so fascinating to learn more about where artists come from and what they are inspired by. Whether it's bright colors, whether it's political statement, perhaps it's sculpture, gorgeous glass art. It's so incredibly interesting to get inside with an artist's mind and find out where they find inspiration, where they come up with the ideas. Is it dreamed about? Is it brought about in reality? What influences do they have? And here at OMA, we are so excited to get the opportunity to work with living artists. And now we get the opportunity to meet another one. I am here with Rebecca Nebert. Thank you so very much for being with us. And we are here in front of Connect Contact, which you started on and then finished sometime later. So Rebecca, tell us a little bit about the inspiration for this incredibly large and beautiful piece.
Thank you so much, Clint. Well, the first thing you might notice about this piece is just how large it is, especially compared to how small I am as an artist. But so basically the scale of some of my artwork, I'm able to really get absorbed into it. And that's what I love. I love being really like up close and personal. I lay them on the floor to work on them. And the scale just makes me feel really powerful in a way too. So another thing, actually, now besides the scale, the main thing that inspires me is microbiology. And coming from scientist parents, it really has held a lot of fascination for me in my life and through my art. So you might kind of see like forms and colors and textures in here as if you're looking into like a petri dish with little organisms interacting with each other and possibly even like a narrative forming here. So
it's absolutely incredible. Now, you are not originally from the San Diego area, but in fact came out to San Diego, but were an artist in your hometown. Tell us a little bit about establishing yourself as an artist here in the San Diego community.
Yeah, so I actually used to live, and I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I went to art school there as well. I came out here in 2013 after really having established myself in Cincinnati as an artist. I've had just numerous exhibitions. And, you know, I have to admit it was a bit challenging to establish myself here in a larger city of San Diego. So, you know, it even came down to I was walking around to gallery with portfolio and business cards in hand and just really investigating to see where I could fit in. And luckily, I really appreciate the Oceanside Museum of Art because Robin Douglas, I met her through a friend of mine, and she's just been instrumental in helping me become a part of OMA. And I was actually in the art auction 2 years ago in 2018 as well as this year because of Robin. And you know, her she's just inspired by my art, and that really actually helps me be even more inspired by it as well. So
that's incredible. Now, I also understand that you have been working on some commission art pieces as well for both private collectors and other patrons alike. Tell us a little bit about some of those works that you have in progress.
Right, yeah, that's actually been a huge part of my artwork in the last few years, is that I've been able to work on a 12-piece commission series for a private patron, and it was actually not so much of an abstract series, but more of a figurative series, so a series of female nudes. And the models that I actually utilized for that series were all of my beautiful friends in the San Diego dance community. So they really exemplify, you know, the grace but strength and authenticity of, you know, this group of people. So
it's interesting that you talk about some of your inspiration for this piece and being in microbiology and with scientific parents. Certainly we find ourselves in a place that we never expected to be with COVID-19 and some of the restrictions that have been put on. How has that affected you? How have you been dealing with this sort of downtime?
Yeah, so like a lot of other people in the country and in the world, really, I did lose my full-time teaching job. My job, which was teaching. So I am a professional artist, but also another passion of mine is education. I've been in education for the last 12 years, and most recently in special education. So that was a huge blow for me, and I can't really do that anymore. I am investigating online teaching options, but even more so, it's getting me back to my art, and I'm looking into creating more of a platform for my online art sales and doing more commission work. So yeah, I mean, I really think that what's going on in the world, it's been devastating in a way, but also right now it's like we're being allowed to really step back and figure out what kind of world that we want. You know, I'm really in support of you know, the BLM movement right now, and just everything that's happening. It's just churning up all this change and, you know, shifts in society. It's very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all pans out.
Well, certainly, of course, through the years, right, so going back to the dawn of time and the age of man, artists have really captured the expression of what was going on at the time, and I think you were in a really wonderful position to be able to continue to do that. Tell us a little bit more about some of the intricate details. I don't know if the viewer can actually see this via the screen, but there are some really incredible details, some sort of hidden images behind some of the acrylic and some of the paint, this being a mixed media piece. And you told me earlier, you really threw yourself into this particular painting.
Yeah, actually, so each painting for me is a complete experiment. Literally, I am just taking all these risks when I paint, and I don't really know how it's going to turn out, and I try lots of different things. So in this painting, for example, this white shape right here is actually the side of my body that I painted, and I laid myself on the canvas. So that was really fun. Probably one of the most intriguing things about this piece. But yeah, and then you'll see there's some kind of neuron structures, and then I was playing with how plastic interacts with certain elements of the paint here. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of texture when you look at it up close.
It's really fascinating. And Rebecca, thank you so very much for spending a little time with us this evening, getting to know you and your process. It certainly seems like it's an incredible way to express yourself and follow your passions and follow your desires. I hope to the benefit of the children that they find you in the classroom yet again, but if they don't, I know that you have an incredible art career in front of you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Clint.
Wow, this is great stuff. I love getting to know the artists and getting to know a little bit about what makes them tick. I think it's just so wonderful to express that creative mind.